This is an 1891 Argentine Mauser. The cartridge for it is a 7.65 millimeter by 53 millimeters. And lately they've been really scarce to come by. Actually, the loaded ammo, you can find that. A lot of different suppliers still have it. But if you're a reloader, like I am, I didn't want the loaded brass. It was kind of expensive to shoot that way. I want to load my own. So I had trouble finding new brass, or even, I didn't even see any used brass, but I couldn't find any brass on the market. So I've had a back order since last November, which is way too long. So I decided, considering the political environment over there in Serbia, which is where the brass is made, I may never get my brass. So I decided that I would make my brass using a donor cartridge and convert it to the cartridge that this gun requires, which is the 7.65 by 53. And the closest one that I found was a 7 millimeter Mauser brass. And it's almost identical except for the dimensions of the bullet that goes in it, and also the length of the case, and those can be easily modified and converted to one that will fit the Argentine Mauser. This right here is a 7 millimeter Mauser brass, and this is my donor brass. And I run this brass through a full-length sizer for the 7.65 by 53, and what it does, it will expand this this hole to the correct size for the bullet that the Argentine Mauser requires, which I'm shooting a lead bullet, so it's actually a British 303 bullet. The dimensions on it are 314 thousandths, and it's a 200 grain bullet, so it's got a lot of weight to it, carries a lot of energy out there. Anyway, this is the donor brass before it's modified, and then after I run it through the sizer, you can see that the diameter of the neck is quite a bit larger. So this will accommodate the 314 thousandths diameter bullet. Okay, now once I got this brass squared away, the hole squared away, the next thing I have to do is to shorten up the neck. See, the necks are the same size, so I have to shorten this one up to make it fit the Argentine Mauser. Now to shorten the neck, this here was plan A, and I stick the brass in here, clamp the end of it, and it's got a pilot guide, and then the cutter blades are on the outside of this. So I just run this in there, put some pressure on it, and shave it down. And when I finish shaving it down, then it's going to come out looking like this. But doing this by hand for something like 200 rounds got pretty tiring. So what I wound up doing was taking the cartridge and modifying one of my other trimmers. I took that crank handle off, and I put my drill bit on there, or my drill motor on there. So I put this in there, and I run the pilot down in the center, and then tighten up the clamp on the back of this. And then this is the way to do it. It's really easy. And this is preset for a measured distance to make this come out to the correct length that I need. And that's what it looks like before it gets cleaned up. Okay, after this is cut down on the trimmer, then take one of these and you have to clean up the ragged edges on it. And so we clean up the center part, get all the burrs off of there, and then the outside, get all the burrs off of that. And what I wind up with is a finished cartridge. Starting off as a 7mm Mauser, it is now a 7.65 by 53 Argentine Mauser. And I'm going to wind up with roughly 300 of these to load, and I can have a lot of shooting with my Argentine Mauser.